Welcome to the Morning Wood. I'm your host, John Heiss. I'm joined, as always, by my friend, the great Matt Modi. Everybody knows the best time to start laying the wood to the books is in the morning. So that's what we do every morning on this channel. If you're not already subscribed, I'd go ahead and do so right now. I'd also get the notifications on because you're never, ever, ever going to want to miss another one of these shows for as long as you live. Usually we do a recap, Matt, but guess what? We can't do a recap because we're recording this the day before because you're watching this on Thanksgiving. You can't possibly think that we are recording a show on Thanksgiving. We have family to attend to. But I'm just going to assume both of our bets or all of our bets won last night.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, there was 5, so I think that means I think we went 5-0 if I had to guess.
Yeah, that feels right. I'd say 5-0 is pretty good. I got to be honest with you, though, man. Yesterday was great and all, but we're on to today. It's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's a day that I think we got to win. I mean, it's one of those where you're hanging around your family, you're sweating out bets. You're definitely going to want to be sweating out winners. Do you think I got that right?
You definitely don't want to, if you're already going to ignore your family to watch sports, you're probably not going to want to do it while also losing the bets that you have.
Okay, well, stick with me. I might have a way that we don't have to ignore our families on Thanksgiving. But here, you know what I'm going to do? Since it is Thanksgiving, I'm going to let you go first. Let's see it.
That's very nice of you. Let's hope last time we did this, I stole one of yours. Let's hope we don't do that again. I think this might be one of your guys, so let's hope not. But I went Jonnu Smith over 4.5 receptions, plus 110 odds at DraftKings. Everybody's going to say Jonnu is not a 5-reception guy. The thing is, he kind of is. He's been very, very good recently. He's cashed in 5 of his last 7 games. Last 2 games alone, he's got 19 combined targets. He's coming off of a 9-reception, 11-target game in the Dolphins' last game. Since week 7, which is when Tua returned to the lineup, Jonnu Smith has more targets than Tyreek Hill, significantly more targets than Jalen Waddle. Of all wide receivers and tight ends, he's got the most targets on the team, leads the Dolphins in target rate, targets per out run, receptions. And he's only behind Tyreek Hill in first read targets, but he leads the Dolphins in design targets. There's nothing about this stretch for Jonnu Smith that makes it look like it's a fluke. Unless your argument is Jonnu Smith has been in the league for what feels like forever and he hasn't been this guy, that's fine. What he's doing this year is different. And this is a Packers tight end that can be had at the tight end position. Since week 3, they've allowed the 6th most receptions to tight ends. They're more of a reception team, not a yards team. And then also Tua, at this point in his career, he's a receptions guy, not a yards guy. So that's why I went with receptions. Last week, George Kittle with a backup quarterback and nobody else to throw to went off for 6 receptions against this Packers defense. Jonnu absolutely has a good game against the Packers.
I like it, Matt. I'm going to do something similar, except completely different, all right? I'm going to go with a parlay, which has never been done on this show before, but I think it's finally time someone does it. And not only that, I'm going to go with the day 1 of the $10 to win $10K challenge parlay, okay? But here's the thing. If you've ever climbed a ladder before, then you already know you would never start by grabbing the second from the last rung, all right? You'd look like an idiot if you did that. So for that reason, we're not starting at $10. We're starting at $100, all right? That way, we're going to get to the top of the ladder faster, all right? It's just common sense. Plus, we have a 3-legger that has no chance of losing, which is very important on the first game of Thanksgiving Day. You have to win in front of your family or else they're going to make you call the number, okay? That's just how gambling on Thanksgiving works. Lucky for us, we've got Caleb Williams, 200-plus passing yards. Pair that with Cole Kmet, 3+ receptions, and Rome Odunze, 3+ receptions, and you got something that's plus 120, and it's magical. No chance of losing, right in front of your family. It's probably going to cash in the first half too, which is even more important because then you can really show your family that you don't have a gambling problem. This is beautiful.
I like it. I like it a lot. I was debating Caleb Williams passing yards. What I ended up going with was Rome Odunze, 50+ receiving yards. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to do receptions or yards for him. For a couple of reasons, I ended up going with yards. For number one, I mean, the Lions are a pass funnel. I'm sure that's part of your logic for what you do with Caleb Williams in your play. But the Lions have given up the second most receiving yards to tight ends on the second most receptions. And you look at Rome Odunze, with the new offensive coordinator, it's only been 2 weeks, so I get it, small sample size. He's had 10 targets in each of the last 2 weeks. Now, last week, he only had 39 receiving yards, but we love the fact that he's getting 10 targets. And he's generally like, he's got the highest ADOT on the Bears, highest depth of target. It's been like a kind of a lost season for him and honestly for Caleb, but he's getting shots on the field. It's only a matter of time before they connect. This Lions team is allowing the fourth highest ADOT in the NFL, so that kind of makes sense. And as I mentioned, they have allowed the second most receiving yards to wide receivers and the most receptions. And not only that, and this is what kind of led me to Rome Odunze in this one, the Lions play man coverage at the highest rate in the entire NFL. If you look at the entire season, they've played man coverage 43.8% of the time. Since week 6, that number has gone up to like over 50%. They're the only team that's above 50% man coverage. The next closest team is at 40.9%. Rome Odunze has got the best yards per route run on the Bears. That's on the entire season, and that includes the first couple of weeks of the year when he was still kind of getting acclimated to the offense. And you look at it since week 3, the number is even better. And again, best yards per route run against the Bears. He's also got the second highest target rate against man coverage as well. Only Keenan Allen is behind him, but Keenan Allen's more of a receptions guy, whereas Rome, he gets those targets down the field. I think he's going off for 50+ receiving yards. I think he could go off for twice that. I think he can go off for 100. For this one, we only need him to get to 50.
That feels good. Anytime you know a guy's going to get twice as many yards as you need him to, just feels good.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to stick with that same game. I wish I had more for Thanksgiving Day, but to be honest with you, I think we're getting Drew Lock on Thanksgiving, so we're not going to get any numbers for that Giants game. And then you already hit us with the Packers-Dolphins, so these guys are good. I can go right back to my guy, Caleb Williams. 26+ completions is plus 305. If you want to wimp out and go 24+ completions, that's plus 160. Both of these are at Caesars. Here's the thing. In the last couple of weeks, they got a new offensive coordinator. Everybody knows that already. Guess what? He's just throwing the ball all the time, always. They came out first play of the game last week. They were just literally in the shotgun throwing the ball the whole time, right? He threw the ball 47 times, completed 32 passes. I think something similar is going to happen against the Lions. They're a pass funnel. Everyone knows it. You're not going to be able to run on them, especially if you're the Bears. So you're going to have to throw the ball. Plus, once they get behind, they have to throw, which they are going to get behind because the Lions are the Lions. So with all that being said, 24 completions at plus 160, 26 plus completions at plus 305 is crazy town. I mean, that is going to happen. Again, 32 completions last week. It's going to be dink and dunk city whenever you can't go down the field, Matt. That's just how passing works. So,
yeah,
I don't know. They have not adjusted this yet. They think Caleb sucks. I don't think he does. What I do know is he's completing at least 26 passes, though.
I like it. Yeah, any passing prop against the Lions is going to be a play.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am going back to that Dolphins-Packers game. I mean, it's the best game of the night, so we might as well have a play on each team.
Yeah.
Give me Tucker Kraft over 3.5 receptions, plus 140 odds at Bet365. I will admit for this one, I also was kind of debating between yards and receptions. It's a little bit scary debating between the two. What ended up putting me on the receptions is because the Dolphins are a receptions team, not a yards team. Since week 2, so just taking out week 1, the Dolphins have allowed the most receptions per game to tight ends, but they're like 10th in terms of yards. So the most receptions, 10th most yards. They allow the 6th lowest ADOT in the NFL. So it kind of makes sense why they're more of a reception team. And Tucker Kraft, I mean, the haters are going to say he's only done this in 3 games this season, but I'm expecting increased usage with Romeo Doubs out. He's only played 1 game this year without Doubs, but he did catch 4 balls in that one. And it's a great matchup against the Dolphins. Of the last 7 tight ends that have played the Dolphins, 6 of 7 have cashed their receptions prop. That includes just last week, the Patriots, both of their tight ends hit their receptions prop. Hunter Henry, Austin Cooper combined for 9. Hunter Henry had 5. His over-under was 4.5. Austin Hooper had 4. His over-under was 2.5. The week before that, Brock Bowers had 13 receptions. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Tucker Kraft is Brock Bowers, but I am going to tell you that he can get 9 fewer receptions than Brock Bowers and still cash this out, which, again, he did in the only game without Romeo Doubs this season. Tight ends, it's a big tight end day on Thanksgiving, which is kind of what I think. I know it's not like National Tight End Week, but something about Thanksgiving and tight ends just kind of feels right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I can get behind that. I'll be honest with you, man. I think we just swept.
Yeah, two days in a row.
Which is crazy. Crazy. But that's just how Thanksgiving works. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to all the people that are gambling with their families on Thanksgiving. Families that gamble together stay together. That's a fact. It's a story as old as time. But here's the thing. Not everybody has heard that saying. In fact, some of your family members may actually think you have a gambling problem. I know it's crazy, but you don't know what these people are doing all year, who they're talking to and being influenced by. It's a crazy world out there. But none of that's important right now. What is important is getting everyone at your Thanksgiving to gamble. That way, they can experience the magic of gambling firsthand. I would go with the standard 4-pronged approach here. We're going to go scratch-offs, dice, cards, and a FanDuel account. That's all you need. The second you get there, you're going to want to hand everybody at the party a scratch-off ticket. Kids too. Maybe 2 or 3. I don't know what you can afford. Have all of them scratch them off right then, okay? Don't wait. They need to feel the power. Once that's done, get your phone out and make a group ride parlay for everybody. Do the Master P approach and don't make him pitch in. First hits for free. At that point, you want to get the dice out, okay? Depending on when your family eats, you might not have a lot of time before dinner, but there's always time for dice. The beauty of dice is you can use any corner of any house for a game of craps. Everywhere is in play. It goes quick, so keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about how much cash to bring. By now, it should be about dinner time, and you're eating. Most important, nobody's suspecting you have a gambling problem. They're having too much fun gambling themselves. After that, the football game's going to come on, so that should hold everyone over for a couple hours. The second that's over, you grab the cards, bust them out right then. Blackjack, hold'em, anything you want, really. It can go for as long as you want, and it can get you through the rest of the day. But the important thing is, by the end of this thing, your family is closer because they all gambled together. I hope this helps.